evening, Chief Sales, Councillor Milchin, Senior Fire Services staff, family, friends, and fellow graduates. Chief Trevor, I'm pretty sure we were only allowed to bring 4 family members. Mark, I think he brought 10. I invited 10, 4 showed up. And Charles, I thought you were married. Who was with all those women in the background cheering? Question that. In all seriousness, this is an extreme honor for me. When I agreed to take on this daunting task to come up here, I thought in the back of my head, I can do this easily. I got this. Based on the fact that I said one speech in my life, my brother's wedding. This is a completely different crowd, and I believe it's in my best interest that this goes absolutely nothing like the way my brother's wedding went. Yes, Mom, I'm wearing the same color underwear. On behalf of recruit class 13-02, I would like to congratulate our other fellow graduates coming from the Communications and Fire Prevention divisions. And before I go any further, on a serious note, I want to take a moment to pay homage to those individuals, 19 that lost their lives down in Arizona, fighting fires down there. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long 8 weeks. And those of us in the class know what I mean. Terry, I voted for you. That's a lie, but I know Corky did. I voted for Colin because he's bigger than me, and he used scare tactics. Thank you for not starting that smear campaign. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate it. 8 weeks was the training. We say 8 weeks. We congratulated everyone for 8 weeks, but it feels a lot more than 8 weeks. In actuality, if you consider the initial stages that have progressively led us to where we are today, it's been a lot more than 8 weeks. Let me put it into perspective. For starters, we had the application deadline, which was the last week of August 2012. There was a CPS test in November, followed by waiting and hoping for an email. There was the general knowledge exam in December, followed by waiting and hoping for an email. There was the interview in February, followed by waiting and hoping for an email. Then there was the medical screening in March, there was a fitness testing in March, followed by waiting and hoping for an email. And then we had the medical screening also in March, followed by, you guessed it, waiting and hoping for that email. And reference checks were at the end. Reference checks. That's more like 40 weeks in total from August till now, but who's counting, right? It's been a long 8 weeks. It has been. You know, a lot of people who are on the outside looking into this service would say that to get hired by the greatest city in the world as a firefighter, it's like winning the lottery. Those who work in the industry will say that, rightfully so. But those on the outside don't really understand it. It's as if we needed luck to get in here. When I think about that, let me ask, how many lottery winners, how many lotteries require years of sacrificing evenings and weekends with family and friends, leaving well-paid jobs for jobs with less pay to gain experience? Traveling across Canada and the United States for training, countless hours of studying, and traveling for hours across the province for interviews that are only minutes long. Lost where I was there, we're good. And then obviously, there's the 32 weeks of waiting and hoping for those emails. Chief Trevor, how are we doing with time right now? So my fellow recruits, brothers and sisters, if I may, a great looking group of men and women. Looking at you, Swayze, with that hair, looking good. They say the fire service is a lot like a family, and that feeling of family starts right here in recruit training. Hypothetically speaking, let's say somebody were to forget a pair of boots maybe in the first week, or somebody were to forget a pair of boots in maybe the 6th week. Somebody would step up and bring an extra pair of boots. Or if someone were to lock their key in their locker, where their spare key was also located, somebody would run down the bay, look for a tool to get into that, using the appropriate tool, maybe a set of bolt cutters, only to come back to the change room to find a large pile of wood and a broken 2x4 with the locker door open. Hypothetically speaking, of course. Our class is a family. When one of us experienced something significant, we all felt the ripple effect. Perfect example is Chuck. Chuck got married, an envelope went around the room, and all of our wallets felt a little bit lighter at the end of that day. I still question that marriage. I mean, all these girls here cheering for you. Where'd that money go? while some of us are taking our relationships to the next level outside of recruit class, others are beginning new ones inside of recruit class. Maybe another envelope shall be passed in the near future. Just saying. As we heard, there's another fox among us. Not a Foxwell, but a fox nonetheless. Literally, at least in the name anyway. You know, I've never met an individual who's been fitted for clothing that never fit, and decided to take it upon themselves to go and get their own pants, only to have them not fit, and not even be the same color as the rest of the pants. I want to talk briefly about diversity. As you may or may not know, diversity plays a large role in fire service, and it's no different with our recruit class. Every individual has unique set of characteristics that they bring to the table. For example, in our class we have a 6'2" female professional volleyball player. And then there is Chichelli, aka Cheech. Fortunately, when Cheech goes to Wonderland, he's still measured for height on some of the rides. You might not know what I'm talking about, but you walk around, just keep your head down a little bit, look towards the floor, or close your eyes and just listen. You're bound to hear him. Love you, Cheech. To sum up the past 8 weeks, I'm almost done. To sum up the past 8 weeks, Marks and Mirage were arrested in a mock riot we had with the police in training here, that some of us took a little too seriously. Love you, Dad. That's a police officer. We delivered fake babies in a very, very professional manner. We managed to lose only one mirror on a truck, not pointing any fingers during driver training. Happens to one, happens to us all. And we managed to spend $498.87 on hamburgers, lunch, on Friday. You really have to believe in that one, eh, Will? Let's not forget about course milk. Love course milk. Looking forward to it. So in closing, I don't want to sound too cliche. I'm not going to go on and talk about how strong the bond is that we all made and how we're all going to be friends for life. But we made a very strong bond and we're all going to be friends for life.